We continue learning Baruch Hashem, another 5 minutes of Bitachon. We're going to start the 20th chapter, and the Bais HaLevi over here has some choice words, we'll call them. First, he begins with a very basic idea, which he coins Tam Miotanisim Hagluyim. What is the reason, says the chapter, that the revealed miracles, there are not many? Or why? Kidei shetishayer habechira. Says the Bais HaLevi, Hashem wants us to have bechira, so he minimizes the miracles. Let's read a few lines and allow the Bais HaLevi to explain. A question that many have wondered why. We read stories in Chazal, in Chumash, in Gemara, and there are so many nisim. And yet nowadays it seems we were waiting and we're hoping. But where are the nisim? Says the Bais HaLevi, what's the reason? Because what happens when there's a miracle? Azai bal karcham. Then we are forced against our will. Yoidoi kulam, that everyone admits that when there is a miracle, right away you don't have bechira. Is there a God? What do you mean? It's a miracle. Right away it's as clear as day to everyone that there is a Hashem. And therefore, that removes our bechira. And only because he explains that b'dairas hakadmainim, they were on such a high level of faith, of emunah, they could have miracles because it wouldn't diminish it. And what's a high level? Rav Chanina ben Daisa in the Gemara says, what's the big deal if vinegar lights? The same God that told oil to light will tell vinegar to light. So yes, when one is holding, as the Gemara in Tainis Chavei teaches, that why does oil light? Because Hashem told it to. So vinegar can light. When one is on that high level of belief in God, then yes, then you could have miracles, because then the miracles will not diminish one's bechira 1 ounce, because you already believe at such a high level. And he quotes over here an incredible Meshech Chachma in the note on page 57, note U. It's about the man. We all know that Klal Yisrael got the man each and every day, and Moshe Rabbeinu told them not to leave over for the next day. What happened? Dasan and Aviram left over, and the man became wormy. So everyone saw that there was no purpose in keeping over the man for the next day. Says the Meshech Chachma, incredible. Why was Moshe Rabbeinu upset? Because before Dasan and Aviram came along, Klal Yisrael had an opportunity, had bechira, could choose. I'm going to believe in God. I'm told not to keep over. Hashem will provide for me each and every day, and that's what I'm going to do. But once it became revealed, once they saw that keeping over won't do anything, there's no longer bechira. Imagine that at 5 o'clock when the workday ended, you could work and work and work, and your bank account would get the money in and zap. It would all go disappear. Would anyone the next day have a thought, oh, let me do more hishtadlos, let me work extra? Of course not. It completely removes all the bechira because you see it with your own eyes. So the more miracles there are, the less bechira there is. Therefore, in our Adar, explains the Bais HaLevi, which unfortunately our level of emunah, our level of bitachon is not that high. Unfortunately, Hashem has to remove the miracles from us. And he quotes an incredible story that brings this out in note V. 1956 in Bnei Brak, apparently there was a 4-year-old child that was fluent in all areas of Torah, a 4-year-old, quoting Gemaras by heart, and it would seem that this child was born. We all know that a baby learns with a malach, and then when the baby is born, the baby is tapped on the lip by the malach, and he forgets all his Torah. It would seem that this child wasn't tapped. And Rav Leib Bakst, the late Rosh Yeshiva of Detroit, heard the story and wanted to confirm it. So he calls up Rav Chatzkel. He doesn't call him up. He probably sends him a letter. And he sends Rav Chatzkel a letter. He could have called him up. It was 1956. But either way, he sends him a letter. And Rav Chatzkel says, and he writes back to him an amazing response. He said, I heard the story as well. And I'll confirm it's 100% true. My daughter, my son-in-law, Rav Reuven Ginsburg, lived near the child, and they saw it. And says Rav Chatzkel, I thought, I want to go see this child. I'm going to go see, to witness with my own eyes the miracle, to see how it's true that the Malach teaches the baby Kol HaTorah Kula. Then Rav Chatzkel says, I grabbed hold of myself and I realized, wait, I believe, I have emunah. What? Because I see it with my own eyes? The opposite. When I see it with my own eyes, that's going to diminish my emunah. We think sometimes, like the science tests and all the fascinating experiments prove the Torah. The opposite. It diminishes it because we have true emunah and working on our Bechira and Bitachon. So it teaches the Bais HaLevi today an incredible lesson. We have to realize that indeed we don't have that many miracles, but it's for our own good. So we're able to choose to believe, to perform the right amount of ishtadlus, a work in progress, but trying more each and every